There we go. I was like, I don't see the scene. I don't see it.
All right. So, to quote a certain Star Wars movie, how does this work? Do I go first? Do you go first? It's this is a dangerous stream. We've been this is Paul Olson coming to you live from Minneapolis. With me, I've got the great Andy Myers.
Oh
And
dear.
it's a dangerous night because Dan's not here. He can shut the stream off, I suppose, or like our volume. But is this a first? We doing this thing, Andy?
We're doing it live. We're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna keep us sidetracked. Paul's gonna keep us on target, and nobody is around to actually call the game. So it's no, we're just kidding. Dan is in the wings. Experienced a mishap with his own teeth. They betrayed him, and so I've been told that he sounds what to me sounds amusing to hear. So hopefully we'll be able to goad him into saying something later on. But we feel your pain as well, and hopefully Dan feels better soon. So we've got two excellent competitors on tonight that we've seen a lot recently. They've really been tearing up the late night streams, trying to come out on top for the month of December, which is, of course, some people think it's the time for people to come together around the holidays and embrace friendships. But I think Andy, Priest, and Oscar are embracing the spirit of competitiveness and trying to win out on top, no matter how many late nights it takes. So, Paul, is there any particular list that you feel passionate about that you would want to discuss amongst these two competitors?
Yeah, I'm gonna tackle Oscar's list. So, Andy, do you want to hit the Rebels?
Yes.
Yeah, since
that
I'm on the
sounds
left
good.
side of the screen. Yeah.
Very good. Why don't you go ahead, and I'm gonna pull up Twitch and make sure I've got the chat engaged. There's one viewer. Is that me? Hello there, chat.
I'm in there too. So it
you're
could just
in
be
there
you
too.
and me
Okay,
right
so
now.
it's you and me, and now I'm getting the ad sounds. Stop that.
All right. Well, while you're sorting stuff out, I'll talk through things. So we've got 4 Jedi. Barriss, I guess she was a Padawan before turning to the dark side. Spoilers. Excellent episode. But yeah, so 4 Jedi. We've got 3 of them at I-4 and 1 at I-3, that being Ahsoka. Ahsoka, we'll start kind of bottom up. Ahsoka at that I-3 with the ability to give a friendly from 0 to 1 after completing a maneuver a free action. Can be very powerful for kind of a action economy, double reposition, get a focus target lock and a reposition kind of thing. She can do a lot of things. And with that Delta 7, be losing out on an agility, but gaining 2 extra shields. That thing can, and an attack dice hitting very, very hard. With a synced console, able to hand off that target lock from a friendly. For those of you who don't know, sync console, after you perform an attack, you may choose a friendly ship at range 1 or a friendly ship with the sync console upgrade at range 1 to 3. Spend a lock you have on the defender, and if you do, the friendly ship you choose may acquire a lock on the defender. So some action economy for sure. However, the only other ship that has sync console is Sacy Tin, which I don't know if I've seen Sacy been played before on stream. It's been a while. So for those not familiar with that ability, we got after friendly ship at range 0 to 2 reveals its dial, you may spend a force. If you do, set its dial to another maneuver of the same speed and difficulty. So able to change up how really the direction that you might want to go. Works a lot better against lower initiative pilots, so after they move. That being said, because we are playing with road rules, there are a couple I4s across the table, so we'll see if Sacy's ability plays into where arc dodging could happen for Garvin and or Jake after that road rule is determined, so that should be exciting. Watch for that. And the ability to hand off a target lock to Ahsoka by spending that lock if you had a good roll, for example. On the list with that extra attack dice. But then we got two more Jedi. Barriss with only one force. It's the only Jedi in this list to only have one force. The rest have two. So you got to be careful there. But while a friendly ship at 0 to 2 performs an attack, the defender is in its bullseye. You may spend one force to change one focus result to a hit or one hit to a crit. So very much upping the attack a little bit. My guess is it was Barriss was brought for the I4 specifically. But with that calibrated laser targeting, getting that extra focus result, if you've got an enemy in the bullseye, can hit hard if you line things up well enough. And last but not least is Lumara. This is kind of the defensive version of that ability. If you're not in the attacker's bullseye, you can spend a force if you do change a crit to a hit or a hit to a focus, which would keep the Jedi alive for longer. So Lumi's kind of in a position of support. I'm guessing Barriss was more of, hey, this is filling up points, but another I4 that we can throw in there. So that's my take on the list. And I'll talk about my analysis after a while because the players are already into the scrum. But Andy, do you want to quickly describe the Rebel list?
Sure. This is the a little bit more nimble, aggressive version of the token passing rebels that you've probably been seeing for the last, well, since first edition, really. So it's just, but especially since the new Hera came out, and so. This is now the B-Wing Hera because B-Wing Hera and A-Wing Hera cost the same, but B-Wing Hera has 8 health and 3 attack. So if you want to run, a heavy hitting list right off the bat, you might want to try this variation instead of the alternatives being something like, Garvin and. Which you have here, but what am I trying to say? You might bring a Kyle Katarn, a Hawk, right, to bank some of those focuses, pass them out, or you might bring a U-Wing that has Jyn Erso so that you can be more defensive. This is more of a attack-heavy version. So we've got Hera in the B-Wing, which allows you to pass tokens to buddies range of 1 to 2. And this Hera has the S-foils, so could potentially do the double tap. And it has the
there's no cannon slot.
Oh,
right?
excuse me, my mistake. You're right. There's no cannon.
But it gets you access to the evade, which can be big.
Access to the red evade, exactly. Which she would be able to pass. Then we've got swarm tactics on Hera, so being able to bump either Garvin or Jake up to 6 with her and Wedge. Now that is going to be pretty key for this kind of offense-heavy attack. With Garvin being able to shoot at I6, or if Jake is able to line up that procket early, that would be pretty good to try and initiative kill some of these I4 Jedi. And then, so I mentioned Jake Farrell in the A-Wing. And I mentioned a little earlier about having kind of a nimble version of this token sharing. So Jake is the key to that because you're able to, after you boost or barrel roll, get those focuses out to your buddies or to yourself. And for those of you who are really good at Jake, I'm always impressed. That is going to be big. Andy just bumped Jake into the back of Wedge. It was probably really, really close. and just by a millimeter, it didn't work out. And so that might play kind of a big role in this opening engagement. I think Andy was hoping that Jake would be able to, get a boost in there, pass a focus off to Wedge,
Even a barrel roll.
even a barrel roll. Yep. But now Jake is kind of sitting there, range 3. I don't think it's in bullseye, but it's pretty close.
Is Jake in range
Ahsoka.
even? It's close.
Might not be in range of Ahsoka. And then Jake has marksmanship, so when attacking with that proton rocket, able to change a hit to a crit, and any other time he's shooting that it's in bullseye. Nice cheap upgrade for that. And then let's see, Garvin, the X-Wing that allows you to, once you spend a focus token, pass it to a friendly range 1 to 3, which has the infinite loop with Hera. And then the R3 astromech, so you can take a couple locks right away and then be able to keep one for later, right? On your next target. But your first target, you're going to try and get all your guns pointed at right away, and then you'll have a lock for later. And then finally, we've got Wedge Antilles, the yellow X-Wing on your screen. And Wedge has marksmanship as well, so trying to get these crits through, and R3 astromech as well. So the 2 X-Wings are going to take locks. Hera and Jake are there to hand out focus tokens so that both of those shots are double modded. While this is an efficient, nimble list and can do a little bit of spike damage with that proton rocket, and Wedge, just being Wedge, drop people's agility, it's not...
the swarm tactics, getting Garvin up to high.
Oh, that's true. And the swarm tactics being there. It's not as, super alpha strikey as other iterations where you bring, munitions, right? So it's not proton torpedo Wedge, or it's...
or even Jan Wars bumping up an attack.
Right. Or in this case, it'd be nice to have, a plasma torpedo to strip some of these shields right away, or something like that. So, yeah, this is one of those... variations. I know Andy Priest, I've played him many times. He's a very talented Rebel player, and in other factions too, but that's kind of his preferred faction. And so I think this is another list that he's found his list archetype that he wants, and is just trying to tinker. So I wouldn't be surprised if next week we see him again with basically the same list, but a couple different things. Maybe instead of a couple marksmanships, something else, like a thread tracers on Hera or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe not.
Really wishing that he had a focus right now from Jake.
Yeah.
I think he's in 4 firing arcs right now, which isn't great.
Which, if you are playing against this list, try and kill Wedge right away, because that's the most offensive heavy.
Especially with 3 agility Jedi, they don't want to see something reducing their agility. But Garvin gets lucky here, rolling 2 focus results, able to spend that focus and immediately pass it back to Hera, who can then give it to another friend. And that's the power of this token passing list.
Hera
and get 2 damage through already.
Wow. That's 2 on Ahsoka already.
Yeah, and if big. Wedge can pump through a couple more on Ahsoka, Eric could get the kill, and that would be an initiative.
Ahsoka is range 2 just by the nub, by the tip of the base. So that's going to be 1 green die on a Jedi.
Double modded too because of the target lock, and then also Hera's focus.
Yep, he only got 1 hit so far. Here comes the target lock.
He didn't have the bullseye lined up, did he? Because then he could marksmanship it as well.
It did not say in bullseye. So double blanks. That is rough.
Only 1 hit out of 5 dice rolled.
Oscar getting real lucky on that one. That one could have been bad.
And there's the evade. Let's go.
Okay, Wedge.
Nah, not today. Not today.
But we still have Hera. Hera's sitting here. She just has a focus, and she probably wants to save that for Wedge's defense.
Yep. Oscar did a really good job of closing ranks quickly. He kind of looked like he was spaced out, and then all of a sudden got in real fast with Lumi to a point where all ships were converging on target. And that's something, as you're playing the game, to notice is I think Jake is completely out of range here, is not able to shoot at anything. So Oscar got 4 ships shooting on 3. That's a good trade, right? If you're having more guns on target than your opponent, that's an engagement that's been favorable to you. And Barris with that CLT, I think has Wedge lined up in Bullseye too, so that's going to be an auto basically hit because you've got a focus token ready to go. So great flying by Oscar early on. I will say in the bets, I bet on Andy because I like the initiative, being able to initiative kill something quickly, but man, we'll see after these dice are rolled. Gets the full string with that CLT shot. Ooh, and Wedge
Very
takes
nice.
2. Yep. I agree.
Shield
Wedge
zone.
needs to be the first target. For sure.
I feel like the last time I was commenting on the game, Wedge went down real fast. Not sure
Yeah,
if
I
it was
think that's
Andy
true.
Priest or not, but that is, I'm having some deja vu here.
I feel like most people try to kill Wedge quickly. Very much unlike the movies where Wedge always lives. Like, I feel like in games of X-Wing, he's one of the first to die.
Mm-hmm. Another bullseye shot. Just one.
Well, this is a Delta 7, so the bullseye doesn't super matter.
Ah, okay.
But Wedge lucks
And
out.
Renovate. Hera
And Hera
still
did
has the
not
focus.
spend that focus. Exactly. So you do have a bullseye lined up here on Hera. And unfortunately, you don't have a target lock on her, though, because the target lock was taken on Garvin. Didn't have the ability to target lock Hera because she hadn't moved yet. And this is the CLT shot, so tempted to say, yeah, I'll take the bullseye for the extra focus result, but you only have 1 force. Looks like does take it, though, into Hera.
Mm-hmm.
I assume spends
Yeah,
the second force? Yeah.
with Hera's focus still sitting there, it was unlikely you were going to do any damage to Wedge. But hey,
Ooh!
2 into Hera is
2 into Hera is
pretty
great.
good.
Take that
Yep.
all day.
And Wedge is sitting range 2 in bullseye. Okay.
And again, this is the Delta 7 with Ahsoka
Right.
shooting.
That's okay.
Snips gets 2. Hera still hasn't spent that focus yet.
And this is where
got a lock. That's right.
Barris could spend a force. Oh, no, she already spent her force. Okay. And there's the focus coming in from Hera. So it'll be a hit.
But that is still half points on Wedge.
Yep, pretty good.
Which Oscar will take all day. That's great.
Yeah, because these Jedi, while they, 2 of them only have 2 green dice like Wedge, they're still sitting on force, right? So Wedge does not have the benefit of force. So if you can kill Wedge early, then it makes some of these other targets less offensive. Wedge only got, Jake only has 2 red dice, unless he gets that Praga lined up. So that's where Road is really going to make things interesting. I think you'll probably see more casual prockets on mid-level ships now with Road, right? Like, it's like, well, I don't have to care about the bid, and half the time I go after, so I can maybe try and line up this, if you have the option to do a focus and a reposition. I think any lighter ship like these A-Wings, the value of proton rockets probably has gone up since you no longer have to care about the bid.
Well, especially ships that can do a reposition along with a focus action. That value goes up too. So, I mean, we've saw Barons en masse on the Imperial side with that same ability be really good. And I don't think there's any reason not to think that A-Wings wouldn't be just as good or anything else that has that ability.
I recently ran a Von Reg with a proton rocket, because why not? Got the points now.
Yep.
Don't need a bid. So you can take a with those tie barons, you can take a strain or a deplete to take the target lock, and then also take a focus. It's one of the few ships in the game that can, in one turn, do that.
It's a big road roll here because those I4s being able to block.
One
And
crit.
I don't think Andy was happy based on his little mouse movement. Because that does mean Oscar's going first. Oh, barely doesn't clear the 5K. That had to have been close.
Wow.
Maybe thought. I mean, you knew Wedge wasn't going to be moving before you. So, and yeah. Saw it on the table a little differently. That's a big win for Andy here.
That's one of those things that you think about, or you try and think about during the engagement phase, is when you're measuring or when you spawn the range on TTS, like just take an extra couple seconds and think about, okay, Wedge is at range 2, but just by the nub, so really
He was also at a weird angle too, so it could be like, depending on how you saw the board, you thought that the 5K would just sneak past him at that angle. I know, just I'm not going to be casting any stones here when it comes to judging TTS lengths. I'm so bad at it. In an actual physical table, I've got it down, but I cannot judge distances on TTS still.
But Jake bumping is in, like, the other thing about Jake bumping last round was that now he's not in a good position either.
Yeah, he's behind Wedge, which is
behind
really rough.
Wedge is not
You
good.
can't go too straight. Like, you almost have to do like a 1 hard or 2 bank out, but either of those aren't great either.
And I don't hate a one hard, because you can take a focus, or you can boost, take a focus, and then have a proton rocket shot lined up onto Lumi, although it looks like Lumi is barrel rolling.
Well, now you don't even need barrel roll potentially.
Right. Yeah. Just
a 3 straight by Jake. Just take a focus. Doesn't look bad to line up a bullseye on Barris right now either.
Bullseye on Barris would be good. So Ahsoka's the one that's down.
Great block by Lumi.
Nice.
Yes, there it is. Great move. I like that a lot. He wants to give Wedge in action here, but
just take the focus.
That bullseye is so nice on Barris right now.
He's got his hand over the reposition though. I don't know. If you don't want to get shot, then I agree. Maybe taking a barrel roll out might not be a bad idea. But then you'd probably still be close enough to catch Wedge in range 1, but you wouldn't be able to boost back in. That's the problem.
Potentially barrel back and out, give yourself a focus, then boost back in and give Wedge the focus. Maybe. I don't know. It would be real tight.
Okay, he's just taking the focus, which I think is the right call.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's one less focus for Hera to cover.
So here's the deal. All right, so the focus I get, because then you can hand it off to Garvin, but man, taking a target lock on Barris feels really good. Oh, what a 4K! What a move! That was so risky. You'll love to see it, though. Some aggressive flying here.
So the lock with Hera onto Barris would have allowed Jake to have target lock focus on Barris for that rocket.
Correct.
Because you can pass that target lock.
I think if Garvin hadn't bumped there, you do it all day. But because Garvin did, Hera wants to have that focus hand off to Garvin, get it back, and kind of go from there. But it does make the procket a lot more volatile because you don't necessarily know how many.
Oh yeah, I mean, average on a procket is basically 3 hits.
Exactly.
Right?
It's out really with the mod. It's 3. Yep.
Yeah. That's
wow,
good.
what a roll.
That's a good roll.
Especially, you always want to see a focus result whenever Garvin rolls dice.
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed to.
Nope.
Well, one crit's getting through. Or who
So
is this on? That was on... Oh, that was
looks
on...
like it's on Stacey.
Yeah, so 2 shields then. All right, that's not bad. First, I thought he was shooting at Ahsoka, who had shields down. Yeah, Ahsoka's really out of position right now with that stress facing the wrong way.
Here's
Just
a range one
barely
shot with
cleared.
Stacey.
Yeah, that was great. It still has that focus mod for Wedge if you need it, or just roll really well.
3 works. Yep.
Oh, and still had the target lock. I forgot about that. Yep.
4, and so that Stacey's only rolling 1. So this
She
could
needs
potentially
paint.
be a dead Stacey 10. Oh, she
Got it. It's actually really big because now Hera...
And Wedge has marksmanship, so one of those should be
Oh,
a crit.
yeah. Did he forget the trigger?
I
He
did not
did.
seeing it.
It's a may.
Yep.
Not a must.
You may change one. Yep.
Yep. Miss trigger. So
Comes
yeah, that could have made
Hera.
a big deal because if a direct comes in there, Hera can shoot at Ahsoka instead.
Ooh.
I mean, you spend it.
Yeah, because that's a guaranteed kill, initiative kill. Yep.
Exactly
It's
why.
a double. Hey. All right. One Jedi gone.
1 down, 3 to go. And that was big because that's one of your 2 heavy hitters.
Who had a
damage output
bullseye lined up on Hera. Not that the bullseye would matter, but 4 dice at Hera. That's not good.
Right, exactly.
And she still had 1 force left too.
Yep.
So we've reached the end of the 6s. We are now at the Jedi Shots. So who do you go after?
I mean, there's some
Jake to try and Jake to try and strip the focus, right?
Yep, because Hera doesn't have the focus right now. And you've got 3 dice plus a automatic focus result that's going to be a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And Barris could up the ante, depending on what this roll is, been forced to change something to a crit.
Ooh, not a good roll, though.
Not great.
Gonna spend it.
Oh, Jake. Easy life. Another bullseye lined up.
Sure.
Which matters.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting into Hera, why not? Try to kill something. That's a little better.
That's a much better roll. Has the focus. We'll spend it.
Hera's gonna need.
She's taking at least 1 crit.
Oh, taking 2 crits.
2 crits.
Could be dead here with a couple directs.
Yep.
This game, very swingy. I love it. Fuel leak? Console fire. All right.
Not great, seeing as how Hera doesn't like to take other actions.
Damage engine.
Well,
I think she's fine with those. Like,
yeah.
Neither of them were a direct hit. She's fine.
Yeah, you were either K-turning or banking next turn or something like that. There's really no reason to need to turn.
Are we going to see a proc? We should. Let's go.
Here it comes. And marksmanship.
Does he remember the marksmanship trigger, though? Because he forgot it with Wedge.
So what do you think? Over 3? Above 3?
I think it's going to be
2.
Below. My goodness. I would have said, I was going to say the even. I thought it was going to be an average roll. It was not.
That's where that...
Marksmanship? There we go. He did it. Good job. All right. Still need some paint here. Easy dodge. Easy life. Yeah. You kind of want to save that procket for the double modded kill shot, but sometimes that happens. All right.
Oh yeah.
So Ahsoka's got to regroup here, being stress pointing the wrong way. And Lumi's kind of in a weird spot, although she could do like a 2 hard to try to block Hera and or Wedge. You got to be careful here. Those Jedi are very fragile, and range 1 with Wedge is not a good time.
I mean, Wedge just does a 1 forward, right? Why would you not?
You could try a 1 bank towards Lumi if you think that that would clear and wouldn't get bumped by the 2 hard. But the 1 hard or the 1 straight does seem like a good move for Wedge.
Well, here's the other thing. It's probably going to get blocked by either Barriss or Lumi.
Sure.
But that's fine because that's 1 less ship shooting at Wedge.
Conversely, you could do a 3 straight, closing your S-foils to try to chase down Ahsoka. Not saying it's the best decision, but if you're afraid of getting blocked, you could just arc dodge here too.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake has some options. If you dial in the 1 hard and move after Barriss, genius. But if you lose the road roll, you have to move first, not so genius. So safe play is maybe a sloop with Jake.
Which way though? Onto the not onto the cloud though,
right? Yeah, no, it's sloop so that your firing arc is facing kind of towards the center of the board.
Right. Yeah.
And then Garvin also interesting because you're touching another I4 right now. So the 1 hard would or the 1 straight would bump. So do you just do a 1 bank over the top? Hoping. I mean, this is where road really gets interesting.
I mean, a 1 bank over the top fits right now. It's just whether or not Lumi gets to do her 1 hard first.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, maybe you do the 1 bank with Wedge then and try and stare down Lumi. Because Lumi, if she does the 1 hard, she blocks Hera's 1 forward. She blocks Garvin's 1 bank. The only thing that I'm a little concerned with Jake's sloop is like, what if Ahsoka does a 1 bank and then like a boost and can get a shot on Jake? I guess that's not the end of the world because then Wedge has probably a good shot on it. This is
if Wedge does a 3 straight, I feel like he's got more options to get out of dodge and regroup as opposed to getting range 1.
Or you go that way.
Killed. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 1 bank with Ahsoka. I think that's just kind of a regrouping.
Yeah, spend a force to. Well, you could give an action to a buddy. Wow.
Yeah, you could give an action. Well, it's range 0 to 1 though.
That's right.
It's not her.
Not new Ahsoka. Right. That's
Thanks,
smart
Focus.
though.
I like that.
Just getting out there. Yep.
And yeah, there's the 1 hard. I mean, Wedge can still get her by doing again the 3 straight boost. There's the 1 bank. Interesting. I was expecting the 1 hard. Maybe. I don't know. It's a dangerous place.
Well, Bears is full up.
That blocks it.
It doesn't. I don't think it blocks the 1 straight.
I don't think so either.
But
I think Oscar is now realizing that. Barrel rolling.
It's real close.
I think you almost need to barrel roll because otherwise you're just host, right?
And then take a focus. So no repo.
Yep, there's the sloop.
Yep. Nice.
Like that. Interesting.
Ooh.
And I wonder if road was at play there when that was determined.
Sure.
The S-foils are open, so no boosting out of arc here.
Does a barrel roll fit? Not that you necessarily want to, but
then you're at least getting a shot. Yes, I think so.
Real close.
Dan, sign off on the chat. What do you think? I see your mouse there.
It's close.
I think think it does. Think it does.
That'd be spicy.
I got down real low on that table. Takes a target lock. Interesting. Well, he can acquire 2 because he does have R3. And
Sure.
you are full up, so maybe there's less risk there. And that is a red maneuver because of damaged engine.
Yep.
I don't...
So
No.
this to me looks like he thought Ahsoka was gonna chase
Yeah.
Jake,
yeah.
right? But playing more defensively when you only have 3 Jedi left.
Nope, no action. They'll get it. They'll figure it out.
They got it. But that's
too
rough.
bad. Yeah, because he forgot. I'm guessing he forgot about that crit. Crit tokens.
Here
Remember
comes
your
the
crit.
darkness.
Remember your crit tokens, yo. That's my really bad English accent.
There's that 140.
There it is. Yeah, and Wedge is gonna save the rebellion, save the dream here, because Hera and Garvin are looking a little like they have egg on their face for their movement choices.
So what do you do? Do you lock Barris?
Yeah, you just take lock onto
And-
Barris, and then because you get
and
another
Lumi?
lock too.
Right.
Either Lumi or Ahsoka, one or the two. But that is
Yeah,
not a
maybe
lot of
Ahsoka.
defensive tokens. Ooh. Not a lot of defensive
It
tokens.
is
for the
0
Rebels right now.
defensive tokens. Meanwhile, all the Jedi have force and
Yep.
focus.
Yep.
Funny.
I'm so glad they didn't give the Delta B a white evade. So glad. Swarm tactics up, but nothing to shoot at.
Here's your 1 of 2 shots.
Trying to clear tokens here.
See if he remembers
Oh.
marksmanship this time as well.
And you can't use Lumi's ability because Wedge does have Barris in the bullseye. But that's a pretty good roll.
That's
Sheesh.
pretty good. All right, so let's see if he remembers this other
Okay.
crit.
Oh, yeah. He didn't again. Which is
Nope.
big because that...
It's coming in.
Oh, no. It would. So one would hit the shield anyway. So it
Oh,
didn't
right.
super matter in
Okay.
this instance. But yeah, that's 2 triggers he's missed with marksmanship on Wedge.
Wounded
Wounded pilot. Jedi do not like wounded pilot.
Mm-mm.
Not with their built-in ability. But all things considered, that's really the only scary shot this round. I mean, Jake is shooting at you, but it is unlikely Jake's going to do damage.
We'll see if Oscar goes with Barris gets aggressive because Barris has the bullseye lined up and has a focus. So, like, do you spend it on offense if you get a couple focus results, or do you save it?
I
For
think it depends on
defense.
what happens this shot.
Correct.
But Barris already spent the force,
Oh, that's a good
so
shot.
can't use the ability.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
is
a
into
really good shot
Wedge.
to Wedge. Yep. Wedge is going to need 1 evade. Got it.
Mm.
Not necessarily still alive, though.
Yep.
See
We
what?
have not seen a
crit
direct
we get.
yet.
This is a streamer curse if it's a direct.
Oh yeah,
Stunned pilot.
done. Hey, he's fine.
Yeah. Whenever I see a stunned pilot, as long as I'm not a droid, I'm like, this is fine. Fun fact, did get a stunned pilot while on a debris cloud
Oh,
with
no.
my, which is fine. You have to, you're stuck on that debris cloud forever. Unless you could somehow fly off of it without your nubs over crossing the obstacle. Fun little puzzle.
So you shoot Wedge now, right? Even though you've got the bullseye.
Yeah, you need to kill him.
Yeah.
Because he's a Jedi killer for sure.
You still have 3 dice. You've got a focus.
Yep.
Wedge has nothing. He's got 2 dice.
And
only
this
have 1
gets you
hit
back
point.
in the game in a big way because positionally, Garvin and Hera
Oh
are not in
no!
good spots.
Oh no! No!
Oh,
No!
the blank out. Whiff.
Oh no! No!
Very appropriate for a rookie stream. Whiff, whiff, whiff. There it is. I feel like I see more whiffs on this stream than others, and maybe it's just because Dan points them out more, but
I don't know. When I was commenting the Lima Open this weekend, there were a couple games where the luck stats on some of the players were just atrocious. Like one of the guys had negative 12.8 something. Like
yeah,
it was just incredible.
TTS I feel like could be pretty swingy. The RNG is real. So Wedge surviving is really big. This Hera was kind of on death's door as it was, but now the focus kind of still has to remain on Wedge to try to kill him. And Hera can potentially get to a position where she's back in the fight. I feel like Lumi needs to 2-sloop here behind Wedge and company, because you can't turn in, you're blocked. And Barris, with a wounded pilot, almost has to do the same. But then you're kind of opening yourself up to the Garvin 4K and or Talon Roll and the Wedge 4K and or Talon Roll. Probably 4K.
Oscar's got okay position, especially with Ahsoka to try and come up and
Ahsoka needs to come in and potentially
kill
give an
Wedge at the end, but unfortunately both I6s are still alive. That was kind of a tough choice. I mean, I think Wedge was the right choice since Hera definitely doesn't have a shot this turn with that stress. But I don't know. It would have been nice to have killed Hera as well.
Yeah.
But again, Wedge was the right choice just from the positioning of the board and stuff like that.
100%. Yeah. And like we said, Wedge is what kills the Jedi more than anything. Reducing that agility is just huge. For those wondering, Dan check-in to make sure that Hera did roll for a console fire. She did. She rolled a focus result. So she's okay. But yeah. Andy is lucky that did not get a hit because, man, 1 health Hera with a console fire. You almost have to clear it then.
I mean, I guess maybe this turn you could take a focus, but then the next turn you're probably not taking a turnaround maneuver either. So that's a tough one.
Yeah, I think Garvin's going to need to do... Garvin and Wedge cannot both do 4Ks because I think they'll bump into each other. So Garvin's going to need to do a 3 Talon roll so that Wedge can do a 4K here to get guns on target. And then don't know what Hera does to get out of the way of that, though, is the thing. Although you could just move her last and bump, but then she's not getting her ability.
Well, this turn,
to see what Jake
can actually get. We will see our first Jake trigger if he
ability,
takes a boost in for Wedge or something like that, or Garvin. Actually, Garvin would probably be a good choice.
Move into a barrel boost, maybe. I don't know. You also, if Garvin is doing a 3 Talon, you got to be careful not to block that maneuver as well. It's be a super interesting turn to see what goes on. But this is, I mean, points wise, Andy's up 79-56, but Oscar is very much still in this hunt with Hera almost dead, Wedge almost dead. And while Garvin can be scary for the Jedi, Jake without that procket, well, Jake, I hate to tell you, but you scare the Jedi a lot less because 2 attack dice.
What if Garvin does a 4K and Wedge does a 2 hard to square off against Ahsoka?
Does the 2 hard hit that rock though? I think it might.
I was kind of looking at it, and I don't think it does. I think you're facing it, so you
save the game state. We must test.
Do something. Yes, you go ahead. I don't. I don't know how to do that, but that would be.
I
fun
don't have the permissions. It'd have to be Dan. But
okay. You could have
Hera 1 bank right. Maybe the problem is does that bump into Garvin's 3 Talon roll? If that's
why I think Garvin does a 4K. That's why I'm thinking the too hard with Wedge. Like everybody's got their own path. Jake has enough room to do whatever he wants. Is Oscar going first again? I think he's gone first every time.
Yeah. Dan agrees with me that the Wedge 2-turn left looks like it's on the rock. Thank you, Dan, for validating.
Save that state, Dan. I'm betting all my internet points on it fitting.
Save the state. Oh wow! All right.
I'm probably like 6th in the rookie channel, right?
Save it up.
Exclamation point points, not poonts, points. How many I got? 120. I'm betting all 120 that a 2-turn fits, and you've got a perfect shot into Ahsoka.
Well, what we did see was Ahsoka coming in, boosting with fine-tuned controls, then using her own ability to give a barrel roll to Lumi.
I like it.
Assuming, whatever that word is, that Lumi will do a 1 hard into the fray. I like that a lot.
All right, so Ahsoka going up in points for road, maybe.
So Andy must have quote unquote won the roll off there because Andy is moving Jake before both other I4s.
Oh, okay. My mistake. I was thinking that Ahsoka was a 4 as well.
Ahsoka's I3. Yeah.
She is an I3. My mistake. Sorry about that, everybody.
So there's the barrel roll for Jake, giving Garvin a focus.
Okay,
And
I like that.
4K with Garvin. Yep, you're right. The 4K with Garvin. Yep.
Although Jake's position does block Hera's 1 bank, so she may be 1 banking the other way. 1 bank left.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Oh,
ooh,
I love that
spicy.
5K so much. It's so nice.
Oh yeah. Look at all these Jedi just right at it. Come on
Oscar's
in, Wedge.
back
Do
in the
that
fight.
too hard. Yep. Oh yeah. Then I don't know who you target. And there's the 1 hard.
Yeah, Lumi's got some options here. Almost think Lumi takes a target lock. Try to kill something. Focus is terrible.
I don't hate a target lock on Hera.
Yeah.
Because she's probably the only one that has a shot on Hera. Well,
1 bank left.
Barris still has it.
Clearing that stress. Get rid of console fire, or do you get rid of... Yes, okay. Get rid of console fire.
I guess. I don't know. I might have just taken the focus.
I mean, she can swarm tactics Garvin up. 2 turn left. Well, there you go. We don't even need to save it.
Who needs
Don't even need to save the state. I did say at the beginning, I cannot see moves on TTS as well.
He's not even going to have to reposition. Look at that. It's clear daylight straight out those nubs.
Oh, man. Beautiful. You love to see it. I think Wedge just takes a focus here, right? Or did he move his lock? He moved his lock over to Ahsoka. I see.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he had a lock. He had a lock on Lumi. Still.
Is that a Star Destroyer? I think that's a
no,
cruiser,
that's one. It's one of the Republic ones, right?
No, I think it's an Imperial cruiser.
Oh, it's an Imperial one. Okay. All right, because this is the Lima Open. Matt.
Yeah.
So it would be Imperial.
Nice. Well, the good news is Garvin got a better result. The bad news is no focus results for the first time.
and
the double evades. So yeah, it won't be able to hand that focus off to Hera to be able to hand it off to Wedge as needed. But Wedge could still kill Ahsoka here very easily. That's 4v1. Ahsoka only has 1 health left. And Wedge does have a target lock. And has marksmanship lined up. Let's see if he actually is able to do it, though.
Ahsoka's got 4 health left.
So. Yes, but that's what I'm saying. If Wedge gets full paint and Ahsoka gets a blank here,
right.
she could just
That's
die real
Yep.
fast. Remember your marksmanship, Andy. Remember your marksmanship.
There's a crit.
He can get a second one. Nope, forgot again. Which would have... No, it still wouldn't have mattered. That's really
Wouldn't have
funny.
mattered this time.
Still wouldn't have mattered. You bring upgrades. Use them.
It's what, 1 point? Or is it 2 points now?
Oh, that's huge. Weapons failure on Ahsoka.
That is big.
Although, I don't... Does Ahsoka even have a shot here?
I think
Does she
she's
have
got
wedge?
wedge. It's real close.
Yeah, she's got wedge. She's got
I
wedge.
think she's got a little bit of an angle. Yeah.
But that's a big deal. That could keep Wedge alive, potentially. Although Wedge only has 1 health left, so...
Well, Jake could kill Ahsoka. It's unlikely.
Ooh. I almost think you need to do that. Try to strip a token from Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's
But-
still got...
Goes for Lumi?
No, she has no force. She's out of force, so...
Interesting.
I mean, it is
Lumi
the closer
shot
shot.
here.
But
Lumi
Lumi's
could use her ability, too.
full up. Crit. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I mean, it was the only range 2 one.
easy.
And Oscar's green dice have been treating him well. The second... After the initial
Second half of the
engage.
game.
Yeah.
And here comes the
Okay.
pain.
So...
And Wedge get out of this alive. I think you start with Barris to try to get a kill shot onto Wedge. And if you do, then you can... Well, never mind. I was going to say then you could shoot with Lumi afterward.
I was thinking it'd start with Ahsoka onto Wedge.
Ahsoka's I3, unfortunately.
Oh, right. My mistake. But then Barris. Yeah, you're right then. Barris. Just because it's range 1. And you don't... You have
So he's
a
shooting at
force
Hera.
mod.
So this is the problem, right? Like,
Oh.
you're
trying
assuming
to get
Wedge
both.
dies.
Right.
Getting a little greedy.
2's good.
Yeah, Hera could just die here. Oh,
That's the
got it.
evade. Did she do the con?
Huge.
No, she cleared the console.
Cleared the
That's right.
console fire.
That's right. Still can't turn.
I mean, you could still just shoot at Hera here with Barris, hoping that Ahsoka can kill Wedge. That's super risky, but you could.
You kind of...
I don't know. Kill Wedge. Hera's
I think
facing
at
the
this
wrong
point,
way,
you're...
man.
I think you're... At this point, you're down. You might
Yeah.
as well. You're down, and you try and swing at it. Although,
Just swing
because if you kill
defensive?
both of the I6s,
Yeah.
then you're now ahead.
Can't be initiative killed.
Chip points.
Well, your
Can't be
I4
initiative
can't be
killed.
initiative killed. Your I3 can,
Right.
but yeah.
And now you're ahead. You've got the force.
Shooting
You've
at
got
Hera, yeah.
repositioning.
Yeah. I mean, okay. It's maybe not the choice I'd choose, but I can understand why, you know?
Spend it. There you
Got
go.
the force. Hera's going to need double natties. Nope.
That's it.
That's one.
So now a 7B Ahsoka Tano
With a weapons failure.
with weapons fit. So 3 dice. If it's an arc, which it is.
Yeah, got it.
3 dice. Oh, she
Yeah,
even has
2.
wedge. Or Jake. Wow. So 3 dice versus 2. Ahsoka has the focus. Wedge is living on a prayer.
Wedge needs Ahsoka to roll some blanks here. Oh, that's huge. Wedge just needs 1 evade here. 1 evade.
Oh my.
Got
Gets
it.
it.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh. Wedge,
Wow.
the hero of the rebels. I almost said hero of the empire. Hero of the rebels. Wow. Wow, that weapons failure coming in huge. Forgets his marksmanship. Doesn't need it. Doesn't need it.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, 107 to 82. Wedge living on a prayer.
Much closer game than I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
after that initial engage. Oscar
for
really
sure.
showing some tenacity and
Oscar's
some
coming
good,
back in.
very good Jedi playing. Like 4 Jedi has been an archetype for a long time, but like not 2 of these ships. Actually, not 3 of these ships, really. I mean, Ahsoka saw some play early, and that's about it, right? Like,
Yeah, Ahsoka with Chopper, I think people are still sleeping on. Like, that is such a good action econ
yeah,
list.
and it's so much fun because
Yeah,
who doesn't
jamming
love
things
handing out free
everywhere.
jams?
It's awesome. Then bring a couple heavy hitters. But yeah, with the changes of regen, we just haven't seen it as much, and there have been other things that have kind of done it better. But yeah, whew. Oscar doing a really good job of staying in this fight. But now Wedge can pretty easily 4K, not worrying about too much.
Right.
Ahsoka with that weapons failure, I mean, you want to clear that, and if anyone can do it well, it's Ahsoka because of her ability. But she's also got to be really careful not to get initiative killed here.
So she'll be moving first.
Yeah.
So
and,
I think,
man, with Wedge not dying there, here's the biggest problem with a ship like that not dying is it's taking up space of where Ahsoka wants to go this turn. She can't turn in now.
Right, because the 1 hard looked good.
Yeah, it did.
Shoot at Garvin. Or even a 1 bank or 2 hard and boost to try and block Garvin's 1 forward.
Yep.
Right? Because if your weapon's failured, now you can be super blocker, and if you had killed Wedge, then you're only, concerned about what Jake does.
Yep.
But now,
yeah, there's no 3 hard on that dial.
Wedge is right in the way.
Yep. Oh, they got to re-roll the road. You'll love to see it. And Oscar getting initiative, which I think is good for him because now his force can block Jake, who wants to give Wedge an action.
Yeah, if Wedge gets a focus here, that's probably it for one of those Jedi.
Focus 4K seems good. Oh wow!
Whoa!
What a move! The 2 sloop, and you could even spend a force to get rid of your weapons failure if you really wanted to.
If Oscar knows that you can do that.
He's used Ahsoka's ability once. I don't know if he knows he can do it while stressed, but I would assume I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's hovering. Yep, there he goes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna take a focus, which is a defensive play.
Yeah. Yep. I don't hate it.
You're shooting last, so.
Yep.
And Wedge is shooting you first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, another blocked 5K?
Yes. So that I'm gonna blame on Road, because if Garvin moves first, that doesn't get blocked. That was a calculated risk that he made, and just got unlucky. But now very much out of the fight because you got to take a turn to clear that stress, and then another turn to come back in, and
silver lining, it blocks the 1 forward.
It does. That is true. Oh, and takes a stress from the wounded pilot too. It's unfortunate. You're not going to have a gun on Wedge now. Well, you will, I guess, with Ahsoka if she lives.
So, Jake, do you do the 1 bank?
I like that 1 hard. Maybe take a focus and then boost to give Wedge a focus.
Right. Focus.
He's looking.
Boost. Does the boost get you a shot on Barris?
It's close, but I think
I don't think you do.
Because it gives you.
You just want to give Wedge a focus.
Yeah, it gives you Wedge the focus. Yep.
Because if Wedge rolls 3 paint, that's it.
Oh.
For Ahsoka. That is a different.
It's bold, sir.
Well, all right.
Gonna link it to a boost or just taking a target lock for later.
I guess you're just sitting there. You're gonna try an initiative kill Ahsoka so that Wedge doesn't get shot. All right.
Yeah, Because Jake, that's what he's looking for. He's looking to see if he had arc. I don't know that he does, though, is the thing. Be close. Garvin, you called it. One straight is blocked now. Silver lining?
Silver lining. Yeah. It's a dark cloud, but it's silver.
Yep. All right, let's take a quick peek at Lumi's ability. So
Range
friendly
two.
ship 0 to 2 could change a hit to a focus if you remember the trigger, which would be big.
It is not in the attacker's bullseye.
Yep, so could use Lumi's ability. He's reaching for it.
Hey,
does it.
nice.
Love to see it. Great awareness of your abilities. Because you're in essence turning that hit to a blank because there's no focus mod for Wedge. Big deal. And Andy's going, what? What just happened? How are you doing that? Well, Andy, the reason he hasn't done it before is because you've had Bullseye lined up. You've forgotten about the ability.
Yeah, right. It's a blank.
And
so
that
that's just
keeps
one
Ahsoka
hit.
alive.
Alive. Unless Garvin.
I mean, you could do it again, though. Lumi, I mean, and they're I don't think there's a Bullseye lined up for Garvin. Well, actually, Garvin might have it.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, Garvin has it. Jake doesn't.
I mean, you
Got
shoot
that.
with Jake first because you have the lock, and that's the only shot.
Yep.
And then you go with Garvin.
But Oscar gets to shoot first, and that's a range 1 Bullseye into Jake. A huge
That's a good roll.
Absolutely
Huge roll.
huge
Oh my
roll.
God.
Jake could just
And
die
it-
here.
And it.
Jake, you didn't take a defensive mod, my man. You can't be initiative killed.
And he's
but
like, I don't need defensive mods.
don't
Watch
need it.
this.
don't need it. Watch this.
Oh boy.
You better be praying that's not a direct hit in there, son. Ooh.
Oh boy.
We haven't seen one all game, as a good friend of mine has said before. Drum roll, please. Ah! It's undirected! You got him! Oh my goodness!
Simultaneous fire.
Oh,
Life
I
is- it's
know,
all good.
but what
All
a
good.
swing!
Oh man.
What
That's
a swing.
huge. It's huge if it's huge if Ahsoka lives. Like, just think how horribly behind
Oh, I know. Because
Oh my
Ahsoka
God.
could kill Wedge here now,
could kill
too.
Wedge. Yep.
And then it's 3 ships against 1. Wow.
Big,
All right.
big shot.
Here comes
All
the
right.
Jake shot. But again, you could use Lumi's ability to try to keep Ahsoka
she's-
alive here.
She's got two. She got one more left. That's a good
Ooh,
roll.
That is a good roll. Use
That's
the
a
ability. Change that hit to a focus, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah. No.
That's not how that works.
I mean, it's in essence the same. Same end result, because you would have changed the hit to a focus, not the crit to a focus. There you go. All right. Ahsoka's dead.
Right.
All
I
is
mean,
well that ends well.
essentially, it'd be 2 crits instead of
Yeah.
1 crit.
Wow. Wow.
Good shot.
I was expecting Wedge to die there, not Jake.
Mhm.
Just get one shot. Bye-bye.
So this is on to Barris, who
As a force.
has a force. It's in
One hit
bullseye,
coming
though.
in. All right.
No marksmanship.
No marksmanship.
No target lock.
Oh, spend that force. Spend it quick. All right. Well, a couple more ships. Pop, pop, pop. But, man, Oscar in rough shape. You got Wedge behind your entire, both ships, and Garvin unstressed. That Lumi 5K, I applaud the move. It was bold. The one time you need a road roll to go your way and it doesn't. Feels bad.
So
But-
now the question is,
Kill Jake.
you mentioned that Wedge has, excuse me, Wedge is behind. the Jedis, but he's behind two of the nimblest ships out there, because they can.
Well,
if they do their blues, they can double reposition.
Potentially.
The problem is
Barris can't necessarily because of the wounded pilot. So after you do that action, you could be stressed right after that. So you really got to be careful.
Yeah, Wedge is looking pretty with just a 1 forward.
Yeah, Lumi's going to have to do a lot of work this game. Lumi's going to have to probably kill Wedge at some point while taking a shot, and then hope to get half on Garvin without giving half up on yourself. Because Garvin is worth more than Lumi. That's a tall order, sir.
And there's only like 13 minutes left.
Yeah. I think your best chance here is to maybe take the next 2 rounds, try to set something up so that you can kill Wedge without losing Barris and without taking half of Lumi. Although,
well, who's worth more, Lumi or
Garvin? Garvin's worth more. Yeah. Garvin's 49, Lumi's 45.
So you got to keep both Jedi alive, basically.
Yes. Keep both Jedi alive and kill Wedge in 13 minutes.
Okay.
Or
that's a bit taller order.
Kill Wedge, get half of Garvin, and keep Lumi alive at full strength. Or keep...
but in 3 turns.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I'm talking through win conditions, not necessarily.
Yeah.
This
not likely
will happen. What I think is going to happen. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing that betting is open for will Wedge survive the match? Yes for 1, 2 for no. Oh, that is
that's a good that's
question.
A really good bet. I like that a lot. I don't know if I actually have any credits to bet. Points. What do we got? I have 150. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say Wedge is gonna die, but Andy's still gonna win the game. So
I'm gonna go.
I'm
gonna say Wedge. Because you and I have such a history of betting against each other. I'm gonna go with yes. I think he's gonna pull through this one.
Wait, will Wedge? Oh, well, I read that wrong. Dang it! I bet the wrong thing. I meant to say he was gonna die, and I bet the wrong thing. Reset question.
It cut back to just 1 pack a day. You know, it's just Well, it's
me doing it too hard. Kind of had to, honestly. You're still stressed, but what are you gonna do?
I haven't been sick in like almost 2 years, right? Which has been great.
Yeah.
Because I just haven't left my house. But I finally took a trip to San Francisco over Thanksgiving with my big family. Had a wonderful time. Didn't catch COVID, which is what I was concerned about. But like on the last day, I woke up with a sore throat, and I was concerned it was COVID. But I didn't have any other symptoms. I was like, whatever. It was just at night. I feel fine during the day, and sure enough, like the next day, I have basically a mild cold, and I'm still dealing with. It was like a week later. I'm still dealing with the stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, drinking a lot of water. There's been points where Paul has graciously continued talking while my mic went on mute. And it's because I was coughing. So.
That's all right. Dan did us a solid. He refunded the bets. I bet correctly this time. So now you can bet.
I gotta get in there. All right.
Yeah, you can bet the same, and then we can go. All right, Wedge taking a downtown shot.
Thank you.
The full string. Ooh, got the paints. You'll love to see it. Lumi survives. It was big. But
Did
Garvin and Barris gonna trade shots here.
Did you remember the bullseye?
He sure didn't.
Okay. That's like 5, right?
Yeah.
It's at least 4. It's at least 4.
Now, Lumi is out of force right now, so not going to be able to use the defensive ability to keep Barris alive. Oh, and that's not a great roll for Barris.
Oh, they didn't bump. Oh, nice. There's the evade.
There's the evade. And Garvin still has the focus
Okay.
on offense. Barris with only 2 health left. You gotta believe.
Actually, depending on
3.
road next round, Garvin could shoot first and pass the focus over to Wedge for defense.
True. That's kind of the dream, right?
Oh,
3 hits
that's a
coming
good
in.
shot.
Gonna need a lot of paint. Lumi. Not Lumi. Barris. Jedi names are confusing.
Mm. Barris gets a lot of paint.
It's enough.
Has the focus.
It's enough. Spend
All
that
right.
focus.
Oh,
All right.
boy. They're
That
just
was
slapping each other now.
Ugh. And it looks like
Face
I didn't
slap.
realize this, but Oscar lost the role for wounded pilot, so it took another stress with
Oh, no,
Barris.
this is-
But Lumi might be able to do some work here now. Finally in a position to be able to clear that stress. But
And if
Wedge
Garvin
looks
wants to
hungry.
be shooting, he's definitely not taking a focus this turn.
True.
Just a 4K,
Very true.
right? I mean,
Yep.
why? So, Wedge. I say you go fast with Wedge, so you don't get shot by any of them.
I mean, potentially Wedge could do. Yeah, fast isn't
Like, what if
terrible.
Wedge?
It's where
what if
Barris is
Wedge
going
does,
is
like,
the
the
problem.
3 bank or something like that?
Yeah, then you're not getting shot at by Lumi if you do that, which is nice. If you're trying to keep Wedge alive, that's great, but I think you want to make your last Wedge shot really count. Try to
You
kill
just
someone.
You just want to do a 1 forward and hope
don't
you
know, man.
actually
The
finally
3
kill Ahsoka?
The 3 bank's good too. The thing is, yeah, I think you're right. I think the 3 bank is a good call because then you can grab 2 locks as well with the R3 droid. Yeah, I like the 3 bank. I like that.
It could be blocked by. Oh gosh, I'm getting my ships. Oh, this is Barris, right?
Barris, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
not
just kind of depends.
but not
I mean,
if you
she
lose
has
the
to
road
do a
roll,
1 bank though.
right?
She has to do a 1 bank though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but she could 1 bank
she
and then like barrel in. It's
could roll.
risky.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think you necessarily want to do that because then if Wedge goes slow, you're pretty much dead, especially if you took the stress. So yeah, I think the 3 banks are a really good call for Wedge here. Grab those locks, come in for a second pass. You're up on points.
You can't do a 1 forward because
Ooh,
it's
Oscar
real
won.
close to that.
Yeah.
To that, you could
I
do a
think
2
the 1
forward though.
forward's fine. I think the 1 forward's okay. You don't
It
think so?
probably fits, but if you hit that rock, you die
Then
to
you just die. Yeah.
Sun Pilot.
Yep. Well, if you remember the crit. Remember your crit tokens!
So now do you boost here to try and get a good shot on Garvin? You maybe block and
Boost
get a
or
shot on Garvin.
barrel. Depending on
both?
what you want to do to Wedge. I mean, you could barrel and then boost, hoping Wedge does a 1 straight to block him onto the rock and kill him. That would be
Right.
huge.
That'd be pretty sweet, unless he did that 3 bank, which is looking better.
All right,
Oh nope,
focus.
just okay.
Saying, I am not afraid. Come at
Oh.
me, Wedge. I want to kill you. I saw Paul
Oh.
bet. I want him to lose the bet. I mean, killing Wedge is one of your win conditions, right? So, like, that's not terrible. Yeah, I think
So-
Oscar really wants to get rid of this wounded pilot here, but positionally, it's just you're still in a really rough spot.
Oof. Do you just take a focus, or do
Then
you
you're potentially
barrel roll?
stressed again. Like, this might be the turn just to clear the wounded pilot, but I don't know. It's so hard. Barrel rolling out. I mean, that's smart if this roll works. Oh no.
Oh,
He's hit it 3 times in a row.
3 for 3.
That feels
Yep,
so bad.
that's rough. Well, it does give a little bit more distance, though. But now you spent your force
All right,
action.
what'd you do? 2 straight. He was afraid of hitting that rock.
Yep.
I'm curious if the bank boost or even straight boost would have blocked Wedge onto that rock. Yep, and here's the barrel roll. Wedge is like, nah, brah. I don't want to die today.
I mean, he could one-shot Lumi, but why risk it?
Yeah, no. Stick around for another round.
Well, Garvin's got that lock on Lumi from like 45 minutes ago.
A while ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think you try and finish off Barris.
I think so
just
too.
take the range one shot.
I mean, Barris has no defensive mods whatsoever. So the question is, do you want an extra
3 dice versus 2 dice, or
4v2 or 3v2, 4v2? Yeah, I guess that's not a bad option. Especially because you're going to focus fire. Garvin's going to be taking a shot there too.
And if you get, well, you definitely didn't.
All right. Well, didn't matter.
I was gonna say if you get half on Lumi, then it doesn't matter if Wedge dies either.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So.
Yep. Absolutely correct.
I mean, it matters to me because I bet that he would live. But
true. Yep. Take the shot on what you got a lock on. Wedge was.
That's what I was saying earlier about how Andy is a smart Rebel player, knows how to fly Rebels. You have the lock.
Yeah, he's wanting to save it for a better shot, but
I hear you.
I don't know if you're gonna get one. Oh man, the same roll.
Worse, yep.
And there's the paint. How much time's left? How much time does Wedge have to run? 1 minute? All right, Wedge, you can do it. I believe.
I see 1 minute on the in-game timer.
I mean, if you're Andy right now, you dial in a 3 hard right for Wedge, close those S foils, and you 3 hard boost focus away. And Garvin does like a 4 straight or something. Not a 4, 3 straight, clear the stress, and also takes a focus. And you just win at time, right? It is unlikely Garvin's going to get half pointed and Wedge just isn't going to be shot at if he does that 3 hard.
Correct. But for fun, Wedge does a Talon roll left just for fun.
I know, but I want to.
It's not gonna happen. But
what are these guys playing for? Are they playing for a spot on the ladder, or what are?
I would imagine so.
Then yeah, you 3 hard away boost, man. You got this. There's time in the round. Timer. Man, we've seen some fun swings in this game. This has been, like you said, after that first salvo, I was like, oh, I don't know. But Jake getting 1 shot, super fun. And yes, Scott, if you're watching this, that was a true 1 shot. Just a ladder game. Yeah. I mean, there's some stakes. Bragging rights for that ladder. Love to see it.
Absolutely.
We had a good turnout last night at Dreamers Vault, South St. Paul. 8 guys showed up. A little bit of the old crew out there, which was fun. Some old faces we hadn't seen in a while, even with bad weather. So thanks to everybody who came out.
And this this Saturday, Paul, I don't know if you're heading down this way, but there's a charity tournament here in Minnesota in Owatonna at Lucky Dice.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be in Madison, Wisconsin for work. And yeah, on a Saturday. I know, but
dang. Could have played you in a game that was, but probably only 45 minutes from your house. Maybe not even.
I know.
It's not that far.
It's not really.
I think if the weather's nice, I'm taking the drive down. So.
Yeah, it's more. I have to work very late on a Friday in Madison, and I'm spending the night in Madison, and then driving back from Madison on Saturday. So I won't be
Smart.
working on Saturday proper, but it's a 4-hour drive back. So yeah.
Yes. Well, it's
The
supposed to
weather's
snow
not supposed to be
Friday a
great.
bunch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just didn't want to drive at night.
So, did the one
Heart.
turn,
Okay.
keeping the stress, does not have a shot.
Well, he knows he's down and he needs to get a gun on a target.
Well, what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, does he? I don't think he has a
Oh!
gun on. Oh, okay. Barrel roll, safe. Barrel roll safe.
Well,
Does it fit?
does the barrel fit? Is the question. He's boosting out of one arc.
Okay. Okay.
But
You could.
wow, this just got very spicy because if Barris survives and Lumi doesn't get halved here, Oscar could pull this one out. Why didn't you 3 hard, Andy? The other way. Oh,
well, that's a good roll.
Hello. You could
Somebody's
spend a force
ability
here, but I don't think so. Yeah, the problem is you need that force for your defense, I think.
plus Wedge does have a focus.
That's the half point.
Pop. Oh my gosh.
Ironically, yeah, and Wedge had the focus, so it didn't matter. You're right. Shoot. So now you have to in a direct
hit.
Doesn't matter. You're still alive. The half points are what matter. But now you have to kill Wedge and get half on Garvin, and that is statistically impossible, unfortunately. Ah, so close. So close.
Yeah,
Well fought, Oscar.
Mm-hmm. Here's the 2 hits.
2, yep.
It gets 2 evades again, though.
Hey, you survived. That's great. And the bet that we have as far as Wedge surviving still on the table.
This is huge. Yeah, this is big.
Here we go.
This is
Just for
very
bragging
big.
rights.
Oh. 2v2. One with force, one with focus. Paul. Oh.
Well, Wedge just needs a blank out here. Easy.
Yeah, it's.
The double disrespect evades.
It's like, oh, I'm finally getting shot at. 2 evades.
So Dan saying some radio selections for my trip to Wisconsin. Congrats, Andy, by the way, for the win. But I've been listening to the Office Ladies podcast as of late.
Me too.
It's been around for a while, but I'm finally getting into it, and I'm kind of glad I waited.
I've been there since like week 2. It's so good, man. You
Well,
gotta.
No,
awesome.
I'm
So
3
happy for
seasons
you.
in. I'm 3 seasons in now. Just finished Beach Day, which is like I think the season finale of season 3.
Yep.
And I've been listening to it for 2 weeks.
For
to put
how
that
many
in
weeks?
perspective, for 2 weeks. To put that in
God,
perspective,
that is a lot of
right?
podcasts in 2 weeks.
That is 50 episodes of the podcast because it's 22 episodes for season 2 and season 3, and then 6 for season 1. That math checks out, right? Yeah, 50 episodes that I've listened to. And
Was season 2 20 episodes? Oh my god! Yeah,
yeah.
I guess it's NBC, so
Yep.
sure.
22.
Holy cow!
And each episode is an hour and a half long. So yeah, I've been binging it and I've been loving it. So that's what I'll be listening to. Now, to be fair, I've been listening to it on 1.5 speed. So
right.
it takes me about an hour for each, but still, yeah,
Oh yeah.
I've enjoyed it. Doing dishes, if I'm doing mindless like spreadsheet work at the office, like put that in the background. Man, it takes me back. Like I've probably seen the entirety of The Office, maybe 8 times through. Like that was like my show forever. I still have every DVD set as well. Like that was my show, and I'm finally getting into it and just reliving that. Like as they're talking about the episode, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to watch it. It's in my brain, just on repeat.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dan asking us to get back on topic for the game. What do you think the turning point of the game was? So, I think this seems like kind of a small thing, but the big turning point was when Lumi had that 5K blocked. I thought that Oscar was still in the game until he quote unquote lost the roll, had to move first. So his 5K was blocked by Garvin. Because if Lumi gets a shot there, Wedge probably dies that round or the next round. And then you're able to keep Lumi above half points and Barris from being killed. And then Oscar wins the game. So I think that was the point that I would turn to as far as where things changed. Because before that, while things felt bad, he was still in the hunt, especially when Jake got one shot. And if Oscar wasn't blocked there, was able to kill Wedge, the point in the game that turned is when Jake got one shot.
Yeah, absolutely. There were a couple unfortunate blocks throughout the game that really kind of shifted how everything went. Like, not only that 5K, but there was another 5K that one, I forget which Jedi got blocked though. But it was like a couple rounds earlier, and it was Ahsoka.
Ahsoka
Right?
got blocked with a 5K, which was
Yep.
big for sure, but then she was still able to get back into the fight.
Really able to get back in the fight.
Yeah.
But then also another big block was just in the opening engagement, Jake getting blocked by Wedge and not being able to do focus shenanigans. So that's 2 less focus tokens sitting on the board for Jake. Like that could have been a much worse engagement for the Republic, for Oscar at the beginning, if Andy had been able to get not only a focus token to Wedge from Jake, but also to get Jake to boost in to be able to shoot that round. Now, it's still a 2-dice gun, range 3 at a Jedi. Is it going to hit? Probably not. But 4 guns shooting at a Jedi, that's not bad, especially when 3 of them are rolling 3 attack dice. Yep. So yeah, that I think you're right. I think the road rules definitely played a bit of a game here with the outcome. But I think both players are showcasing how you can still play pretty strategic, effective games with that rule set. It's definitely different, but I don't know. It's still seems like a fun game.
It is interesting because, like, you think about before Road, and you never would have had to worry about the 5K block, right? Like you'd know where you were going to be when you were moving, and so this idea of taking a risky maneuver that a seasoned veteran would never do because you just know it's going to get blocked or not is now kind of thrown out the window. And now there is a lot of risk in setting that dial, which whether people like that or not is another question, but it's a different game, so
Yep.
Interesting to see it played out. Dan, thanks for letting us take the reins, man. Hope we did you proud. I got to read out Dan's ladder points for everybody. For December, Andy P, who you just saw on, is in the lead with 8. And past monthly winners, Shaco and Kenny with 4. But yeah, pointing out that it's a lighter pace of play this month as people are spending time in the holiday season. So we'll see if Andy P can get his first set of shield tokens. 22 days to hang on to them. He can do it. He can do it. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So, Andy, you are right. You called the 2 hard fitting. So, well done there. All of your internet points are yours still.
No, I got all. I got the from the 2 hard, and I got Wedge living. Yeah, all the internet points. I better walk across the street to the gas station and buy a scratch off ticket because apparently it's my time to shine. Yeah. Other X-Wing news for those people who are still watching. If you haven't been on Facebook or whatever, the AMG showcased some crew from the Razor Crest coming up online today, and then they also did a paint stream of the Gauntlet, which is it's bigger than your hand. Like, just hold your hand out, spread it as wide as you can, and it's bigger than that. And then but it looks beautiful. Like, the paint job looks great. That comes in the box. I'm very happy that it has purple in it, so that's going to be pretty to look at. And then they are going to be doing a let's play X-Wing next Thursday on their stream, where they're going to be kind of continuing what they started doing a few weeks ago, where they played like 3 rounds and everybody got real mad at them. They're going to try and salvage that by doing another let's play some X-Wing, and hopefully they'll have some more definitive rules, maybe even talk about some of the restrictions. They mentioned in their stream something about competitive scenario play, so I'm excited about that. And yeah,
on my ban list. That's all I want right now.
That's all Paul wants. Yep. Give me some band lists. Give me some points changes. Give me some rules updates. Give me all the things. But band lists would be huge. Exactly. So I'm flying Kylo in the Whisper because I just got my alt art cards for Glitter Sim ASMR.
I hate to tell you, you don't know that. What if they ban him?
Well, they could ban him, and then I'll still bring the cards, but I'll be very disappointed. I can't imagine they're gonna ban Kylo Ren in the TIE Whisper.
I couldn't imagine that they were gonna make road rules happen.
What's he exploiting? What in the game is he exploiting?
It's jamming, and it's terrible. And 3/4 of the White Evade. Come on, we don't need that here.
Now, did they make Enhanced Jamming Suite a unique upgrade? You can only bring one,
or just ban Enhanced Jamming Suite,
or just ban. I'd be. Oh man, that ship is gonna suck if you can't fly that.
Right? It's so gonna suck. All right, we're rambling too much. Dan's gonna shut us off here in like 5 seconds. I feel like.
Gauntlet is very large, Dan. What could go wrong? Yeah. Well, if you ever played the Ghost in the first edition with that wobbly base, lots can go wrong. But hopefully that epic base that they're going to be using is going to be nice and stable. So
did you see the wobble on stream? There was so much wobble. Oh man, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I am very grateful to Paul for being here tonight and chatting with me, and
it's fun.
And I'm grateful for Dan for hosting this. And if he wants to hop in and just try and stumble his way through the alphabet or something like that for our amusement, feel free. But otherwise, he's gonna hang on to his pride and get some good sleep, and hopefully he'll have me back after all this teasing. So it's always a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for having me, and thanks for Andy and Oscar for playing tonight. That was a really fun game to watch, and I can't wait to do it again next time.
Same team. Thanks everybody.